When I was here in December, I reviewed our report that was issued the very end of November, the forensic findings of our work with the tax collector's office, and I do believe it's attached today as part of the agenda, and so I can go back over that if I need to, but I'm not sure that I do. What would you?
That's probably going to be a couple of questions concerning that.
Sure. Well, let me say then very generally that the report it dealt with fiscal year that ended in September of 2022. I was engaged because there was a shortfall in cash which could not be explained. So my work really focused on that fiscal year and had three major findings. One was that the interlocal agreements with the cities were not being handled correctly, and that is what caused this shortfall in cash. It wasn't actually a shortfall. There was no missing cash. It was just something that was settled twice. The second thing that I addressed in my report was the state of the accounting in the tax collector's office. The bank accounts had not been reconciled in months. And the cash journals, which tie to the bank accounts, were not posted timely. The system that was being used to do that was something that was very subject to errors. There were many mistakes, adjustments. I think I made over $3 million in adjustments during that fiscal year. So that was a problem. And then the third thing that I talked about in the report was the refund process. We had uncovered hundreds of refunds that had not been issued that should have been issued. And then the final thing in the report just makes some general comments about the internal control, the office procedures, and made some suggestions about things that could improve that situation. So if there are any questions that relate to that, I'll be happy to answer them right now.
Hey, first of all, the refunds, you were able to go through all, and all of them have been taken care of, or?
I cannot confirm that they have all been done. I know that several hundred went out in November and December. It's part of what I've got to do in the next 2 weeks is to verify that everyone that could be issued was issued. And so I've been told that, but I have not actually been able to verify it yet.
But that is part of your responsibility at this point.
Yes.
To go back and make sure all of them are taken care of.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I feel like I have left to do, and you can direct me if there's something else.
Okay.
I think my remaining responsibilities are to bring these bank reconciliations current to December 31st.
Right.
They are also to be sure that everything that was collected in December is properly dispersed by January 20th of this year. So that the only things that should be left in those tax collector bank accounts would be outstanding checks and any unissued refunds. I should be able to nail down that number because everything else should have been dispersed. So I am working my way to that point. The November and December journals have not been posted yet, and the disbursements have not been made. So I'm a few months away from having that, but my plan, I had hoped that today I would be able to report that all that was done. Obviously, the weather delayed some things in their offices, but by your next meeting, I should be able to say, this is where we are at the end of the last, at the end of Kay Pace's term. This is what's left.
Okay.
Okay?
Also, reading your report, this kind of sum it up, that each city has received their allocated monies with the exception of the city of Canton.
That's correct.
Correct.
That's correct.
I think that.
And that was as of November 29th. Now, I don't think it's happened yet. I don't think they've received it.
Well, we have, I think we voted to to give them $88,000.
Correct.
Because that's what the law.
Right, and that's what the report
Us
says.
do. And so there's a shortfall there of 400,000,
Correct.
roughly 400.
Right.
At this point, that the board will need to look at
Right.
as well. And see what we can do to make them whole. But the other cities are made whole as of through November then.
Yes.
Okay? And you'll come back, our next board meeting, to give us update, which hopefully you'll have it finalized through December 31st.
That's my plan. Yes, sir.
Okay? And that includes the refunds as well.
Yes, that will be everything.
Okay.
There also will be a number of outstanding checks that have been there for a while, and there's a process to deal with those. And I believe it involves having that money held in trust by the Board of Supervisors with a list of those, disbursements, so.
Okay. Are there questions from the board?
With your experience, what type of procedures or processes could we put in place to make sure this doesn't happen again?
I have met with the new tax collector several times, and we've discussed this, and I think that he will probably bring something to the board possibly today. I have recommended just using an outside accounting service to handle certain portions of the accounting, mainly the cash disbursements journal and the bank reconciliation, until such time as he can find the right personnel to bring in that have the knowledge and experience to do that.